Hi there, folks. Welcome back to Rich Reviews. So, the latest of films that didn't get a wide release in theaters, take me too much money, or found their way on the internet. The latest of these is a film called Burning Cane, and this was shot 2 years ago by a director, Philip Yomans, who is just 17 years old. And I guess a lot of news has been made about this guy who was just 17 years old outside of film school, who made a feature-length film. This film is getting a lot of praise everywhere it goes. There's like a handful of reviews on this on Rotten Tomatoes. Apparently it's got like 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I'm here to say this film is going to make my worst list. I found this film to be one of the most incomprehensible films that I've ever come across recently. Apparently this film is set near a Louisiana plantation. Now there are two competing storylines here, and basically neither one of them is particularly compelling, although at least one of them tries to make the effort to. If you didn't realize the sugar canes, and you really wouldn't realize this would be set in Louisiana. Now apparently this film is inspired by the director's life. And here's the thing, I am really getting sick of these films about inspired by the director's life, how basically their lives were not very good. Now sometimes it can be great, and other times it ends up being like this. Now in the opening monologue, and this is one of the most incomprehensible monologues I've heard in a while, and trust me, the cinematography here is not all that great to begin with. A woman named Helen, now I don't know this woman's name, and you'll probably look this up on Wikipedia for all I know. Basically, her crux of her monologue is, oh yes, I had a dog, it got sick, the doctors wanted me to put the dog down, and obviously her response, remember if they end up shooting the dog in a cane field anyway. Now, she has a son named Daniel, who she constantly berates for not having a job. Clearly in one scene that we were showing, she calls him, she asks him how his job is going. He basically says, oh yeah, it's good, they're thinking about promoting me and such and like that. And she basically says, I called your job, you got in a fist fight, you're lucky they didn't press charges against you and you quit. So that's what we're dealing with here. She has a grandson named Jeremiah, and basically Daniel is leading Jeremiah the same dark path. Clearly having a child drink is not a good thing in general, although, hey look, you're basically observing a child take a drink. Then I guess also there's a woman in Daniel's life that her face was never seen, and I guess she's getting tired of the abuse. And I really couldn't tell if she was tired of the abuse, because basically she's in one scene and then basically leaves right after another. Basically, Daniel is basically in bed all day, or he's drunk, or he's doing whatever else that would make a guy just veg out for the rest of his days, more or less. The second part of this film here involves a pastor at a Baptist church. He's played by Wendell Pierce. Now, let me confess, I think Wendell Pierce is one of our finer, better black actors, particularly TV working today, because he was on The Wire, Suits, and whatever else. Now, his storyline isn't all that compelling, although at least this one tries to be something more than it's not. He's drunk as well, and he doesn't believe what he's preaching, because he goes on one particularly bad rant early on in the film. Okay, yes, I can understand where you're going with this, and trust me, his sermons are probably one of the most interesting things about the film. Yes, if you think yourself, if you're a church person, yes, those sermons are indeed compelling and interesting and whatnot. Helen has to pick up the pastor because he was drinking on the road, caught napping near the slave cabins. One of my biggest complaints here is that this film is 75 minutes, it's really 73 minutes within credits. Any film that is between 80 to 89 minutes long, I think to myself, okay, this is a complete film. Any film that's under 75 minutes long, I think to myself, why is this not a complete film? If Tyler Perry were to see this film, he'd think to himself, okay, yes, I can clearly see where you're going wrong, I can make a few changes, and voila, I can make a better film than you. The kid's 17 years old when he made this, he's now 19, and here's hoping that his next film will be uniquely better than this. And I don't think this says anything about the black experience in recent years. I can think of a couple of other films, like Precious, 12 Years a Slave, that tells us about the black experience. And folks, I'm sadly have to give Burning Cane, I only see it when you're drunk, yeah, I'm burning drunk, yeah. So folks, I'm on Twitter, Michael Rich, Rich Reviews 2. So folks, Burning Cane, have you seen this? What did you think? As always folks, like, comment, subscribe, enrich yourself with knowledge. I'll see you next time folks. Yes, hooray.